Hi guys, Becky Chernek here. And to get things started, I've been in the automotive industry for well over 30 years, providing the very best in finance and insurance training for automotive, recreational, and allied industry professionals, in dealership training, as well as my F&I roundtable training and workshops throughout the USA and Canada. So this live talk with Becky Chernek was put together because I realize how that time is our enemy in the automotive retail space. So this is for 30 minutes and we're talking about what's going on in the automotive retail industry and how it can impact your profits and help you to improve your performance. So it is a pleasure to kick off Live Talk with Becky Chernek, and tonight is our first night, and I have a great guest speaker on, and Mr. Mike Jarman. Mr. Mike Jarman, join us. It is a pleasure to have you here with us tonight, and you are the co-founder, CEO of TurboPass, and known you for some time here, and boy, you've got some exciting news to share with everyone. So let's go ahead and kick this off.
First, I'd like to say thank you so much for having me. I'm honored. It's a pleasure to be with you again. You were reminding me a little while ago that we first started doing it. We did an event together about 3 years ago, so it's great to be back with you now, sort of post COVID and all of our shifts in the industry. In fact, that's our roundtable we did. I guess the workshop back in Alpharetta. That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember 3 years ago, December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So, I mean, it's our 3-year anniversary there,
Yeah.
Mike. So congratulations on that. And boy, let me tell you, you're right. I mean, we have gone through some interesting times in the past 3 years, along with what's going on with that COVID, the pandemic, and where Turbo is right now with this whole thing. And I heard, well, first of all, for our viewers and dealers, because I've asked them to come on, explain what is TurboPass, how long have you been around, and what exactly is going on there?
Yeah, well, TurboPass has been around since 2018. I've been around the industry over 30 years, kind of like you. Started with working with my dad's finance company in Miami, Florida, and the TurboPass venture. I spent most of my 30 years in the business working with lenders, predominantly about 9 years with Capital One during their early days of sort of reinventing the prime and subprime and full spectrum lending. Those early days of Dealer Track that we helped roll out with Capital One, and then I was with the earliest days of what is now known as Santander Consumer USA.
Yeah.
I guess I'm considered employee number one when they were called, before they were even called First City Funding, and then became Santander in 2006, I think. But my background is obviously having relationships with dealers, training, sales associates around the country. And I partnered with my younger brother, Ken Jarman, in 2018 after he had a 10-year stint being a car dealer in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
He was a buy here, pay here dealer, but before that, he worked for he worked for some of the publics doing subprime, special finance. And even before that, he was with one of the early subprime lenders, or I don't know if you remember, Becky, Mercury Finance.
I might remember that, Mike.
Yeah. So Mercury, they had an ugly ending, but we were long gone. We both worked for them actually in the early days. But so Ken and I, we sort of were exposed to some technology that was really being applied in the mortgage space, which, as you know, before you can qualify for a mortgage, you have to check out things like your assets, your down payment, obviously your credit before you're offered a firm offer of credit. And of course, the car business is similar, but it's just more compressed and quickly. The dealer becomes the first lender, as we know, and has the customer sign a retail installment contract. In most states, that's how it's done, right? And the dealer originates that financing and gets their funding from their lenders, whether it's their captive or some of the non-captive banks that we have, right? We have hundreds of them.
Right.
So really TurboPass's mission is to get to the truth about a customer, to close more deals, with less risk, less hassle. And the way we do that is we provide instant proof of income, proof of residency, proof of employment, and identity in a very easy and digital way that uses the mobile phone technology and kind of meets the customer where they currently want to shop. And that is obviously either before they step foot on the showroom floor or when they're there. If you have the TurboPass tool, you have an easy way to connect with a customer and say, listen, we're going to go ahead and get started with the process. And I'm going to just go ahead and send you a text to start this process. And it allows a customer to connect their banking information. For example, if they have a relationship with Wells Fargo or a credit union and they have 3 or 4 bank accounts, it's really beneficial for you as a dealer to understand the customer's ability to pay, especially as we know, FICO is very, drives a lot of the stips and whether a bank or a finance company wants more stips. Well, with TurboPass, what we've managed to do is get over 25 lenders, all the captives, every lender that does business in the United States has run across a TurboPass report now being submitted either through a digital format or now through Route One, which we have a relationship with. And that creates more trust by the lender to take this report that's sort of a third party that is digital and has no real way to be manipulated and so a dealer that wants to reduce fraud, reduce customers coming in with their stories and with fake pay stubs and things that we know have been a problem in the industry. It's about a $7 billion problem now. Banks, as soon as they see TurboPass report, they love the formatting. They love the fact that it's direct source, which we get the information directly from that financial institution. And so they used to just fund the deals faster, but now they're even adding more incentives, lowering fees, increasing advances we've seen because the lenders feel much better. And then now the finance managers with their buyer or their funding operation are just moving the transaction much more quickly. So that's what we've been doing for a couple of years and just gaining acceptance in the market.
Well, okay, well, yeah, that's a lot of information coming at us. I mean, so it was good stuff, and I know you've been working hard over the past 3 years on this, and it certainly shows. And I
Thanks.
think you mentioned that you're in, I don't know, 2,000 rooftops across the country. What's going on with that? I mean, so that's a good start to,
Yeah, for a startup and for a company focused on our technology, I think really for any company to have that level of growth in a short period of time, I'd say that most of that growth has been around the last 18 months.
okay.
It was really generated by us approaching what we call an anchor client. Our anchor client turned out to be Westlake Financial in Los Angeles and the Hankey Group, with their technology platform and company called Nowcom and Dealer Center. When we told our story, when we demoed a product, they immediately saw it. They immediately saw the fact that they would be able to, because they've had a reputation of being a tough finance company to deal with, or their funding takes a little while, or they're very thorough, right, with their funding, is because they buy very aggressively. And so as soon as we showed them what we were doing, it was their early days, they really gave us a couple dozen dealers to really feel out the product, and they started changing policies for the product. They even added in the drop down menu, when you go to choose the type of income, pay stub or job letter or bank statements, they now even have a drop down where it says TurboPass.
How cool was that?
And that was huge for us, because
Right.
in their pricing modeling, I think that you're going to see, and this is already standard operating procedure, as everyone knows, depending on the type of proof you're showing, the model might give you a better callback, right?
Yeah.
So we're seeing we saw reduced funding, reduced fees, acquisition fees and stuff like that. But Westlake decided, and we entered an agreement with them that they allowed their 500 internal and external salespeople to go out and say good things about TurboPass. So us being a small startup, we have at the time we had one sales guy, and me and my brother and our CTO. That was it. So we leveraged the Westlake support, and we just went on a huge run last fall and spring of 21, signing up dealers and rooftops, and that's how we've managed to get here. And so we're just kind of hanging on and improving the product. We've added a new capability to access customers' utility billing information. So if they know their gas bill or water bill or electric bill, online creds, they can connect their bill directly onto the TurboPass report, and now you have a POR if that's what you're needing. So
I feel like this whole thing, especially with this pandemic and how it all played out, and doing a lot of more of these offsite deliveries and that sort of thing, we want to
Oh,
get
yeah.
to, right? We want to get to this sooner rather than later in that whole process. And as we talked about in the F&I digital workshop, my whole thinking, that's why we got together. My whole thinking was, right, this whole thing starts much sooner in the process, and determining, is the customer who they say that they are, and not that your verification as far as identity is so much concern, but again, we can look at the affordability issue sooner rather than later
Absolutely. And
get to it.
how important do we all know down payment is to the transaction? Just like in the mortgage business, there's requirements for a certain percentage down, and we all know down is some people say down payment equals gross and all that, but really this type of information, having it early in the process, allows you to put the customer on the right car, the right vehicle, and put them on the right affordable option.
One of the things I think F&I people get, sideways on, and you can't quite blame them, is when the deal makes their way, and it's already been processed through by the desk and comes their way, and we realize, what are we doing here? We don't even put the customer on the right car based off of what their actual proof of income is. And sometimes we don't get that until the time the customer or that deal is making their way into F&I. And then by then it's just too late. So if we can put this in front and make sure that customer is on the right car based off of their true, what they can actually afford. I just
100%.
think it's just much smarter, and we're going to go ahead and obviously get more deals sold and approved, and without having. And one of the things again is this this stuff with a CIT because POI doesn't check out. So you can believe, here we go again, the controller is going off on F&I people and like, where's my money?
Where's my money?
Where's my
Absolutely.
money? You know, let's get this thing done. So I feel like if dealers want to move faster and work smarter,
Yep.
it doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't use TurboPass to do that.
Hey, I agree with you. What can I say?
Well, let's talk a little bit about that because I think you shared with me earlier some of the reviews. I would like to talk a little bit about some of those reviews, if you don't mind. What are you getting? What kind of feedback are you getting from these dealers?
Well, it's one thing for me as the CEO to say good things about our company and that dealers love us and everything, but it's another for me to quote them and we provide them sometimes with a link to be able to do that. I was going to share my screen and show you a couple of these reviews because I would never be able to come up with these quotes myself, and some of them are really cool and outstanding, and they kind of open my eyes too, right? I learn every day. Can you guys see my screen?
Oh, we can now. Yes.
Okay, so this is a review site we call So Tell Us, and it allows for some video reviews, but also just 5 stars and everything. And it's easy for us to send links to the folks. But here's one from oh gosh, I thought I know what I did. I was looking for the one that just came in today, but I remember. So here's. Let's see. Helps expedite funding and entire verification process, which equals more deals and more money. I love TurboPass because it makes our funding process way faster. Definitely recommend. Yeah, see, I keep scrolling.
That's what happens when you go live. Nothing ever works right.
Right. I wonder why these are based on dates.
Yeah.
And
I
so
see that. Yeah.
I'm stuck on August, and why it won't go up is weird. But I really enjoy using TurboPass. It made deals getting funded easier. Look forward to using this on future deals. We had one review in here that said they had gotten a $2,200 higher advance.
Yeah. I saw that today.
Yeah, based on the fact that they had chosen TurboPass as the income type. And this is huge. This is important. It's the difference between having a car deal or not having a car deal, right? Very simple to use for both ourselves and our customers. It expedites funding. We have done deals without TurboPass, and they took a lot longer to get funded. Night and day difference. So these are just a few of these reviews. Looks like this. Here's one in Spanish from some of our friends. So, these are, I don't want to say hundreds, but I think we have dozens. I want to play. I hope I can get the audio because this is a great one. This is one of the largest dealers in the United States. This is Toyota of Hollywood, near Miami, Florida. Okay.
Yep.
And they use TurboPass hundreds of times per month. Okay. And I'm gonna try to play this for you and see if you can hear it.
Okay.
Let's see. Can you guys hear that?
No.
Oh man.
How about turn that maybe the speaker on to see? Maybe no, never mind.
Yeah, I could hear it like really loud in my ear, but it doesn't seem to be. Let me play it one more time.
No, unfortunately, that would be clever.
Okay, no worries. Anyway, just the fact that they have such a high usage rate of the deal, of the product, they of course have a lot of immigrant population that shops with them
Sure.
at Toyota of Hollywood. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop. I'm gonna stop sharing. Um,
Okay.
anyway, so
Well, okay, so I can imagine that there's Mr. Ted Ings, and good to see you there. Thank you for being on. And I'm looking forward to, oh, by the way, Ted's going to be on my next live talk, and
awesome.
that's next Wednesday. But, and that's going to be a good talk as well. But here again, so I can't, okay, so I see that you've come, I mean, a long way with this TurboPass. Route One, you've got this connectivity going on.
I
Explain how that works, because I don't quite even understand. Where do they get access to this? What's happening with that? Do they have to have the subscription in order to utilize it through Route One? How is
yeah.
that all working?
Right. So we've made two important what I call integrations, technology integrations. One is a much deeper integration with Dealer Center, which is Westlake's technology platform, where the TurboPass button is right below where you pull credit. So you can pull credit report or a TurboPass report. It's like right there inside their environment, right? The second one, which I think will be really successful over time with the franchise dealers and some of the larger lenders like Ally, Capital One. But by the way, unofficially, these lenders have not, written out a policy yet for us, but when they get the reports, they fund the deals. Okay, but the Route One functionality works where if you're you have to be a TurboPass dealer first, and once you have the report ready and you want to share it with your lender, whatever lender you have available in Route One, let's say it's with Capital One. So you're a Ford dealer and you want to share your TurboPass report. What happens is there's a button that just says share with Route One, and then it asks you for the app ID and the customer name. And what happens is it connects to Route One,
Mm-hmm.
and then Route One matches the deal. They pull it up by app ID or name, and then you can load our PDF file from our platform into what's called the deal jacket. Anybody who uses Route One knows
Yeah.
what the deal jacket
Yes.
is.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is any lender that's on Route One can now receive a TurboPass report with no human no touching of paper or ability to have cutting and pasting or anything weird. It comes directly from our platform into the deal jacket. Now, Route One loves the relationship, and they've done a little bit of promotion for us, but we're just barely even getting started with promoting it, because we also want to put the cart before the horse on the lender side, and some of those big lender conversations we have to kind of make sure that they begin to accept those reports officially, right? We want to have a policy created, just like Westlake and United, and like I have a list of lenders. In fact, I'll name them off. You asked me which lenders accept TurboPass. Right now,
Sure, absolutely. Which lenders are accepting TurboPass?
I'm just reading off the logos basically here, but we have obviously Westlake Financial, Western Funding, LaBelle Financial, Veros Credit, ACC, Turner Acceptance, Gateway Financial, Mid-Atlantic, Local Finance Company, Capital Auto Loans, Vehicle Solutions Finance, Start Auto Finance. Lots of I'd say subprime and mid-prime lenders that work with independent dealers, because it's just gotten to a point where, hey, if Westlake and Veros and ACC are accepting it, then all the other lenders have to kind of go along with it. And I often say, I make fun of the lenders a little bit when I say things like, today, every lender has accepted proof of income that is let's call it what it is, just questionable. And my example is the customer sends a picture of their pay stub to the salesman's Yahoo account, and the salesman sends the email to the finance manager's Gmail, and the finance manager's Gmail goes to the finance company, and they accept that, right? But with TurboPass, again, we don't have to worry too much about them accepting it. It's a matter of understanding it. And by now, most lenders have either officially or unofficially accepted TurboPass as a new standard.
I think like when we had that conversation, the dealer, if they're signed up with TurboPass, they use it or they don't have to use it. If
That's right.
Right. And if in the event they need it, they've got it. I mean, why wouldn't you have that extra tool if that's what it's going to do to go ahead and get some more deals without the headache? And especially if we're going to have slow pay history customers, that's the, if you're, I don't know, but it just seems to me that it only makes sense to go ahead and utilize TurboPass to get that headache out of the way. Because once you put that deal in that customer's rod in, I mean, it is hard as to go ahead and get them back and get that POI straight.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know we're up against the 30 minutes. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you and your audience. Thanks so much. And yeah, just contact us at turbopassreport.com. And my email directly, if you want to communicate, is mike@nostips.com. That's kind of clever, right?
It is very clever. And again, if there's anything I can do to help and support in any way, I'm here. I think I just love the idea behind it. I feel like it's going places and it needs to go places. It's just a better way to make things happen, Mike. It just is. And so now it's just in the hands of God. And so let's just make it happen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again. And appreciate being on your show. Good luck with the rest of the shows, and I'll be watching.
Okay, well, thank you again, Mike, and I'll talk to you soon. And
take care.
Yeah, just hang in there, and then get back.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. All right, so guys, thank you so much, and it was certainly a pleasure to have Mike Jarman here with us. Now, next week, I'm going to tell you, I've got Batman coming on. And he might just be wearing his Batman outfit. I don't know. See if we can get him to do that. And that would just be a thrill, wouldn't it? So we're going to be talking about what's going on. And he has these awesome fixed up round tables. And so I'm going to pick his brain. What's going on in the industry? What we need to do to really connect the dots between the finance department as well as service. So Ted, I'm sure, can bring to light some great ideas. And so it's going to be a pleasure to have Ted Ings on next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So that's it. Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure, and I'll see you soon.